It's all over.
What's up guys, it's your boy Robbie here, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 theory video. In today's video we're going to discuss the baby theory or your son video. This is all speculation, let me just say that right now. This is all speculations, and I'm going to be taking some points from my previous theory, the Vault 111 theory, which half of it was wrong, but half of it's still possible. So again, if you haven't seen it, please check it out. It explains some stuff. But other than that, let's get going. And again, this is all speculation, my ideas and stuff. Me trying to pinpoint the story. So let's get started and see where we go. Okay, so this whole theory is going to be based around what we saw at the E3 presentation, what Todd said, and this is just speculation. Again, it's a theory. There is no proof behind it. I mean, there's a couple of things that can prove it, but then again, most of it is speculation. So just getting that out of the way. So what this theory will hopefully take down, or try to kind of figure out what the quest line of the game is going to be. We're trying to figure out what the point of the game is going to be. So again, everything starts, 2077, bombs are dropping, you go out with your family out of your house to the vault, you get there. Now, we do see in the trailer that the bomb goes off and you and your family are still outside of the vault. Now, because of Todd Howard said, and of course the game, you do get lowered down into the vault, events transpire, and you come out as a sole survivor. Now, because you see your character and his family and your family in the same position, we can safely assume that all of those people get lowered down into the vault. Why would, again, because we have not seen anything else, so why wouldn't your family survive if you survive? Like, you guys are in the exact same position. So let's say all of you get lowered down into the vault, and you go out into the vault. Now, down there, we don't know what happens. We just know that events transpire. So again, this is basing off my Vault 111 theory, which said that in the vault, the experiment is that cryogenic sleep happens, which people get into capsules or modules, and they get, they go to sleep and they don't age. They just sleep and they don't age. Just time freezes for them, but time outside of them, around them, keeps happening. So let's say that different people in the vault were assigned to be released at different dates. So maybe one of the guys that got lowered into the vault was supposed to be released 50 years after the bomb, and then another 100 years. And then when it got time to when the release date for your son comes around, he gets released. Now, why do I speak about the son? Because Todd Howard mentioned that they generate a baby based on the couple you make in the character creation. Now, if the baby is going to die 15 minutes after you make your character, and they generate the baby just so you can see him as a baby, I think that would probably not really be a waste of a feature, but it would be a very useless feature. Like, I think there's definitely a bigger purpose for that feature. They wouldn't go out of the way to make this feature if the character you're making is making a baby and he's gonna die 15 minutes later. Like, I think that the son is gonna take a bigger portion of it. It's gonna be part of the story in a much bigger way than we anticipate. Now, again, we don't know if you can name your son, or if you can make it a daughter. Because again, all we saw in the trailer is it's a little baby named Sean. That's all we know. So let's just assume it's your boy, it's your son, and he's a boy, and his name is Sean. So let's say your son gets released 50 years before you. He gets released 150, around that time. Maybe 175, 170, around that time. Around 25 to 50 years before you get released. So he gets released and he goes out to do whatever he does. And then you get released 200 years after the bombs drop, 50 years after your son gets released of the vault. And you're the last one. You're the sole survivor of Vault 111. You're the last person to be released from that vault. And you go out, and the point of the game is to find your family. That is what's driving you. It's you going out to the world and finding your family. Specifically, finding your son. You want to know what happened, if your son is okay. You want to see him. Now, again, that's it. That's basically the entire theory. That your son is going to be playing a major part in the game. Now, this is going off completely speculation, but I'm thinking, because, I did a lot of research, and I started to, pinpoint stuff and just, start brainstorming. Maybe your son is part of one of the factions that we've seen. We've seen the Brotherhood of Steel, the Commonwealth Minutemen, MIT, all those factions. We don't know if the Enclave is coming back, which I don't think he's coming back just because his armor, the armor is there. Okay, so again, there's factions that are gonna take part in this. It's gonna be a faction war. Now there's a whole theory about the Civil War. You know, it's a representation of the Civil War but in future times. You know, British versus the Americans. So maybe that's gonna have be like a kind of like be like the module for the game, the faction war. But we're talking about the son. Maybe your son is the leader of a faction, and maybe this faction is a bad one. Not the bad one, but, you know, the one you're probably going to go against, or it's the one that's been doing, you know, some stuff, some terrible stuff, or, you know, something like that. So your son can be part of a faction. That is one of the possibilities that I thought of. And then I saw somewhere online that some other guy, again, it wasn't linked, it was just, my friend talked, like that's what the post said. I don't even remember where I saw it. But I think what the post said was that your son, maybe your son has an illness, or he has a limited amount of time to live. Maybe he needs some sort of medicine, and you need to go to MIT to get it, or he needs some sort of technology to survive, and you need to somehow scavenge that to save your son's life, who's older than you now, because, of course, he was released, you know, he's probably 50 years older than you, something like that. So that's pretty much the entire theory. So, again, you get lower into the vault, your son gets released 50 years before you, he goes on to do his thing, joins factions, does his thing, you get out, you need to go find your son. So that's the theory. I think it makes sense. You know, it makes a decent amount of sense to be called a theory and not just crazy stuff. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is a possible theory? Do you think this matches up what we've seen? Do you think I'm missing something? You think some stuff doesn't just match? You know, something just doesn't fit? Please, all of your stuff, please let me know in the comment section below. I read all of them and I reply to as much of them as I can. So thank you guys for watching this video, and also thank you so much for 700 subscribers. 700. We just hit 600 like 2 weeks ago, or not even that. It's amazing how fast my channel is growing, and the feedback in the Vault 111 theory, that's up to like 12,000 views and like over 100 likes, and that is just amazing. And you guys are the best people in the world. So thank you so much for your support. Hopefully this video can get you guys thinking, and, you know, let me know what you guys think of this theory. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Robert, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy vault dwelling.